what he's doing. So that when there is a point of conflict, there will also be an exit point. And that's why we are where we are, because Patrick knows what he's doing. Thank you, Mr. Patrick. We will still disagree, but His Excellency is there for us. The importance of this road cannot be overemphasized. It's traversing through 8 local governments of our 13 local governments. It's harboring vast lands of agricultural deposits. It's housing a lot of solid mineral. We have the highest deposit of solid mineral in Ebonyi State, but we're very unfortunate with road and power, and that is what we are struggling to overcome. Road, power, forget about the rest. We will be the first, because where you are sitting on solid mineral, and all we need is the enabling environment to do this, and we are pursuing this with every amount of our zeal, and with people like you, we know very well that we shall also overcome. And we are taking giant steps to support this project. We have started construction of international airport here. When we say people want to laugh, that we've done bigger things than that. We are at the same time doing the stadium, we are doing the teaching hospital, and we have commenced the dualization of 60 kilometers of road from here to Enugu, and another 58 kilometers from here to Afibo. If you join the two, it's almost the size of the project Patrick we are battling with. And so we also have our own ring road in the name of this dualization we are doing. And so the PISU we borrowed from our own procurement so that we fast track it. Let me announce that the requirement of this project that we put 10.54% out of $150 million US. We're supposed to put about $15 million US. But I think we put in much more than that. We've completed 30 kilometers of the road, 25 kilometers at Zambo axis and 5 kilometers at Ipo axis. And so we have, gone ahead of, what is expected of us. And I believe strongly that this has encouraged African Development Bank very highly. We believe that the savings we are going to make from this project, we are going to, deepen the social responsibilities as we traverse through the communities. For example, in Effium, I want to see a brand new market that is properly, organized with solar light and the potable water, there. I want to see along the line some other evening markets, small ones. We put solar light, we put borehole. I want to see some offsets of routes as we pass through the communities. So the savings we make, we will use it to better the lives of the people that we are passing through their communities. And this will, help us so much in doing this. And let me appeal that like the Palm Secretary Minister of Works and Transport said, it has been a very serious battle to change the project from flexible pavement to concrete. Concrete is more expensive, but I said, look, I don't want to do flexible pavement because of our soil and because of evidences that are bound. Because the tendency is that before I leave office, it would have all failed. And then payment would have just started. And so it will become a cost to me, become a cost to my children and children. I'm very conscious of my legacies. And that's why I say, look, we are doing concrete road all over the state. And we've completed over 350 kilometers of concrete road. And are there. And the previous administration, before you finish the flexible pavement, it wouldn't even wait for you to finish your tenure. The thing will just fail in your destiny. And that's why, to even meet halfway, we said to Patrick, we can do 8 inches concrete and then also put 2 inches asphalt. We've done it on the Pool Road. We've done it on the road that is going to House of Assembly. And are there, and they are very marginalized. We are trying to wake up. So our cost, we are not saying the cost will be the same thing with that of the state. But I want you to know that we have all the raw materials, that we need to keep our costs at a moderate rate and then utilize them. But after all, the money is not your own, Patrick. It is our money. So we want to do more. When I sent our approval to the House of Assembly, the Speaker told me they had approved the project before. And of course the project is listed in our budget. But I insisted they should still approve it yesterday. So it is doubly approved. So you now have all the legal instruments to act, in this. I'll just ask my people to follow Timothy up, because last time we talked about no objection from Federal Minister of Justice. They are not delaying, but we should continue to remind the Minister of Finance to still step them up, in doing this. I want to beg the country rep to please allow me to do the wrap-up on Saturday. I'll take care of, even if I will drive them through the road with security men if they don't have flight on Sunday. Because I want to be in the wrap-up meeting. But the Vice President is coming tomorrow and his program is so tight. So please oblige me so that I'll be part of the wrap-up meeting on Saturday, to be sure of what we're doing. I want to plead very highly, Mr. Patrick, that we should shorten this bureaucratic period. For example, the redesign should not be 60 days. It should not be 90 days. It has to be 60 days. The redesigning, maximum of 60 days. While we are doing this redesigning, we should be able to do our technical procurement. Because it will reduce the timing. If I have 100 people that would have applied joining technical and commercial, then it will be difficult for me to analyze. It will take more time. But if while redesigning is going on, if any, I do my technical qualification, then I probably will deal maybe with about 5 or 6 technically qualified people, as the case may be. I will keep their marks in the order of which they came. When I eventually do the commercial, I will join the marks of the commercial to the technical and then announce the results. So I'm pleading will save time. And of course advertisement, I'm told, is 1 month. But there can be no advertisement until the technical redesign is done. So that's another 30 days. And they will be begging for evaluation to be kept at 2 weeks. And of course award of contract and signing be kept at 2 weeks. If we do all this with this timing, it means that construction on site can start by December 1. We should allow construction to start this year. It will be a plus, because if we go into January, we would have lost 60% of the construction period, of the dry period, 2019-2020. So I want to appeal for this. We cannot thank you enough. I believe that if we agree on some of this and other things, then we should come up with a timetable so that we all work towards the timetable and know our responsibilities. But I pledge our total commitment and humility to you to ensure that we have this project complete. Our people need it so much. You can see our traditional rulers, local government chairmen, our leaders in the state. They all came here since 6 o'clock because of the importance of this project. And our Bible says that the expectation of the righteous shall not be cut short. In this case, they are the righteous. So thank you very much, and thank you so much. Don't bother so much about relocation. These people have relocated. Anybody who goes against the decision or tries to obstruct, they will ostracize the person. So don't bother so much about relocation. Where you want relocation, just let us know, and they will immediately do it to your satisfaction. Nothing is going to hold the project, on our own side. So thank you very much, and thank you again. And to my brother, it's coincident that 2 of you are here, but I said earlier that it's a miracle. The country rep of UNIDO. Thank you very much. I've been to his office, 2 times because of the encouragement he has given to our state. Before he came on board, we've been having issue with our biomass, fund, which is $1 million that's supposed to be given to us to, distribute the biomass, power. And it's been a battle until he was just able to get $200,000 for us. And when we spoke to the guy in charge, he said, well, that state applied. And that's so without him it would have been totally impossible to do that. So we are installing 1,000 kilowatts of biomass plant at Igbo and 500 kilowatts at Ubro. I'm sure you'll be able to see at least one of them today, to this thing. And our deal with you, sir, is to package 300 SMEs. And I have SA on SME sitting at your back, a very vibrant and enterprising woman, and I'm very happy with her beginning steps. And so next week expect her to come and disturb you. We are very much we desire so much to lift our people out of poverty. We desire so much to change the narratives because we've been badly marginalized. But we're struggling that God is with us. So if we have 300 SMEs scattered in our 3 industrial clusters, that's going to help us quite a lot. Unfortunately, the central zone, they have not finalized their land. And so any of the local government that gives me 100 hectares of land and surveys it and give to me tomorrow, we will house the industrial cluster for Central in that place. And you can see we are in a hurry. The country rep of Unido is here with helping us. So it's important to do that. And after 7th of August, we shut down on the industrial cluster of Central and then concentrate on North and South that have given us land. We can't wait forever. We've been on this for the past 1 year. We are engaging in vocational training college. And the African Development Bank, the MD has promised to assist us in agriculture, and the agri-business is going to form the bulk of that, vocational distance, and it's going to be profit-oriented stroke, an institution. We want people to know how to do cow rearing, goat rearing, poultry, varieties of rice based on the soil condition. And so we're going to be expecting quite a lot of help from UNIDO and African Development Bank. This will help us. The country rep of UNIDO has taken our people to Ethiopia and shown us the industrial cluster of Ethiopia is world class. And this is to stimulate, our expectation of what he wants to do in our state. And I want to thank you so much for that. The immediate thing people must have to do for us is that we have gigantic poultry farm here, built in about 2004, ran down completely. Nothing is going on there. I'm looking for a consultant. I have my money this time around to put in there, but I need a consultant who can help us to, revive it and then, train our people that are already running it. We want it to serve the South, South, and Southeast. And the CBN is willing to also put from there to expand it. And the idea is that while there is a central point, we should be able to establish in each of the local governments, aggregate the poultry farmers, aggregate fish farmers, and so they have a connection with the center. This is very important for us, and it's going to create quite a number of jobs for us. So again, we want to thank you very much. Pleaded with His Excellency that after the tea break, we can see the rice cluster in Abakaliki here. I will explain what our intentions are there. And then we see the international market, the phase 1, you see the phase 2 and 3, and then we see them all. And so we can come back to continue. Unfortunately, I'll be having a security meeting because of becoming a vice president. But the importance of this is such that the deputy governor will miss the security meeting and be with you, Your Excellency. why the UNIDO will travel down to see the industrial cluster and the biomass plant. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
I think that applause is too small for His Excellency. It's a round of applause for me.
Don't mind them.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, outside the visitors of this town, there will be a group photograph, and thereafter the tea break will take place at the Executive Council Annex. Just to give the country program to His Excellency, which we are going to follow up in the coming 4 years.
African Development Bank will do it. They will bring money because it's a bank.
Of space, the tea break will be taken in batches. Your Excellencies and our visitors will first take their coffee, and thereafter others will join. Thank you.
Visits of the African Development Bank representatives, UNIDO, and representative of Federal Ministry of Finance to Ebonyi State. And it's all about it's part of the preparation for the flag off of the Ring Road projects, which is to be embarked upon by Ebonyi State government under His Excellency Engineer Dr. David Weze Umahi. The Ring Road projects will cut across various local government areas in Ebonyi State. And this is one of the initiatives of Governor David Weze Umahi-led administration in Ebonyi State. If you are watching us live on your TV sets, and of course listening to us live on your radio sets, the live coverage is coming to you on the stations of EBBC, Sword FM and Sword TV, Abakaliki, Ebonyi State.
And again, let me also inform you that by 7:30 this evening, there will be a state banquet in honor of our dear visitors. Please, you are invited.
And in a couple of weeks, the Ring Road projects in Ebonyi State will be flagged off by Ebonyi State government. Once again, the team in Ebonyi State has a representative from African Development Bank, UNIDO, and Federal Ministry of Finance, Abuja. The The interface is taking place at the Executive Council Chambers, Government House, Abakaliki, Ebonyi State. His Excellency, the Governor, Engineer David Mose Umahi, is here. We also have other top government functionaries, including the Secretary to the State Government, Senior Special Assistants and Special Assistants to the Governor. We also have Chairman of local government areas all in attendance, and of course stakeholders of Ebonyi projects, captains of industries, traditional rulers, are all in attendance to witness this very important interface between Ebonyi State Government, led by His Excellency Engineer Dr. David Mose Umahi, and representatives of African Development Bank. The ring road projects, as earlier said, will cut across different local government areas. It will no doubt engender full-blown development in the south of the nation.
Once again, we are informing you that immediately after the good photograph, His Excellency the Governor will need the visitors for a tea break, and thereafter other government functionaries will join them. In other person remaining here until are invited. And let me also inform you that the technical section is for the bank, and the project implementation unit are there only for those who wish to proceed to their various homes after the lunch. Thank you. Announcement, permanent secretaries of right ministries like Ministry of Agric, Ministry of Commerce, and of course SA and SME will accompany the radio team for a field visit. Yes. And also SA on agriculture.
That's a signing of documents. Between the two parties, Ebonyi State Government and African Development Bank. So far, so good. The proposed ring road projects is becoming a reality in Ebonyi State.
Let me, with all gratitude to God and appreciation to the federal government and the African Development Bank and IDB, declare today, significant day, the first day of August 2019, that the much awaited ring road project is launched in Ebonyi State to the glory of God.
That's His Excellency.
Excellency.
We appreciate you. You are a gift to Ebonyi State.
And that's the launching of the ring road projects by the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State, Engineer David Mozo Umahi. Witnessed by the African African Development Bank, UNIDO, and a team from Federal Ministry of Finance. Today, the first day of the 8th month of the year 2019, 1st of August. Indeed, a very significant day, marking the launching of the much talked about and of course long awaited ring road projects. A project of Governor David Umahi administration in Ebonyi State. Congratulations to the present administration for beginning another landmark project in the land of the salt of the nation. And that's for the good of the people of the state, fast-tracking infrastructural development in Ebonyi State. On this occasion of the launching of the ring road projects by the state government, in attendance members of Ebonyi State Elders Council, members of the State Traditional Rulers Council, the Head of Service, Secretary to the State Government, local government chairman, permanent secretaries, and commissioner designates in the states. And going on now is a group of photographs by His Excellency with a representative of the African Development Bank, UNIDO, and that of the Federal Ministry of Finance. Who are here in the Ebonyi State seat of power, Abakaliki, for this occasion of the launching of the ring road projects. As a matter of fact, the projects will cut across the 8 local government areas in the north and central senatorial districts of Ebonyi State. Landmark legacy will be left behind by the Umahi administration. It will also cut across local governments in the southern parts of the states. Traditional rulers in the states are here in their numbers to witness this landmark and significant ceremony, which is the launching of the ring road project by Ebonyi State government. At this point, we have come to the end of the live broadcast of the ceremony, and on behalf of the Director General of EBBC, Engineer Timothy Mwachi, and all other members of the AB crew, my name is Enemi Ogalagu. Thanking you very much for being part of the broadcast. We now hand you over back to our colleagues at our home-based studio for the continuation of the rest of our programs on today's broadcast. Good afternoon and God bless you.